Good afternoon. This video is to help you upload your FFA roster from the AET over to FFA.org, and then I'll show you how to upload it to your state level so that Mary Kane can see it. KCCTE is going to put on some AET workshops throughout the winter, and so you can look forward to those coming. This one is just a little blurb of maybe what they'll kind of look like. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm logging on to AET, and I'm going to assume that you know a little bit about AET and you've been logged in. And from a teacher's perspective, you have to do a few things. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the profile page, which is this pink page. And in the middle, I'm going to set up my courses. When I set up a new course for my students, of course, you know you're going to select what teacher teaches it. If you're in a multi-teacher program, make sure you have the right teacher with the right class. And I'm going to choose August 1st. I always choose August 1st through July 31st of the following year. If you don't make it a full fiscal year, unfortunately, your students will not be able to put any of their SAE records or summer activities inside there because it only records the classroom time. We're going to click on a Power Structure Technical Systems class. Today we're going to be teaching Ag Power. And you can put your section and period in there if you want. That's kind of optional. And I'm going to hit save. So you should see that our Ag Power class showed up right here. The next thing as a teacher that you need to make sure that you do is you're going to manage all your students. There's more than one way to do this, but personally, I like to enter one of them in one at a time. So I'm going to click on one. And I always use the kid's first letter, their first name, followed by their last name. So I'm going to enter JD Dirt, and guess what? Old Joe Dirt is going to be enrolled in my ag program. I'm going to have an email address for Joe Dirt. You want to make sure it's one that he can check often because his FFA scholarship information will need to come through to this email address. We're going to assume Joe Dirt's going to be a freshman, and I'm going to make his password the same as his username. That way, when the kid walks in and they're like, I forgot mine, simple. You can just look at them and add them as a username. Okay, so when I go over here to usernames, I should be able to scroll down through my list, and I'm going to find Joe Dirt, which is right here. Easy. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to switch over to a student's account. So I went back to accounts. I'm going to access one student. So I'm just going to type his name in at the end. And I should be able to flip over to Joe Dirt's screen. So this is exactly what the student will see, and you can see his name pops up right there. What I do with my freshman is when Joe would come into my class, I'm going to click on profile, and he's going to update his personal information. This information is kind of easy. It's just his demographics. The reason demographics and the address is so important is that is how National FFA will send you the New Horizons magazine. And if you don't have the student's address updated, you get all the magazines in your school box. You can just simply have the kid hit edit, and then they can type in their information. So that's pretty simple there. So from that list of individuals, I'm going to go back to being a teacher. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to click on chapter account. So now this puts me back in the teacher scenario. Notice it says our FFA chapter up there and no longer Joe Dirt's name. I'm going to click on FFA roster. And you notice that these students all have information entered. Now, if I look at Joe Dirt, he's in the pink. He doesn't have anything entered. I can actually click on his name, and I can click in his address. So if he lives on 1 Dirt Road, and let's say he lives in Dirt Town, Kansas, we can kind of save his information. So what I'm going to do with Joe Dirt is I'm going to upload him to the National FFA. it tells me right here, not sent. Some of my students you can see are done, and that's because I've already uploaded my real students into the National FFA database. So you can click on whatever students you want. I'm just going to click on Joe because he's the only kid I want to send. And I'm going to click right up here at the top. It says send checkmarked to FFA.org. So I'm simply going to hit send. It's going to ask me, are you sure you're ready to send the data? I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to switch to a whole complete new website at FFA.org. I'm going to go here to the dashboard, teachers and advisors. It's probably going to ask you to log in at some point here. We're going to manage your roster. So you're going to log in. If you don't know your login, ask Miss Kane. Okay, well, once it finally uploads, you can see all these students seem to pop up here. And that's fine. Those are my real students. And so they're under the tab called Manage My Batches. I don't particularly want to upload Joe Dirt to my FFA page, but what you can do, and I'll go back and show you, you can just click on all your FFA members by clicking this FFA ID button, and all your FFA members will come up. And if you hit this right here called submit membership to the state, then your membership roster will go to Miss Kane and she will send you a bill. And that's how you upload your roster from the AET to FFA.org. I hope this helped. Thanks.